All right, how's it going, everyone? It is Nick Atkin here with Kyle Diamond, Sportskeeda MMA, the One Championship podcast, Wednesday edition. Another action-packed show for you, no doubt. We have a huge interview coming up with Samila Sundell, former one strawweight Muay Thai champion. She is imminently going to join us. She already did, but had some audio issues, so we're just trying to figure that out. But she will jump in as soon as possible. Kyle, how you doing? Good to see you again, though. Haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. I was on holiday. How you been?
Yeah, doing good. Been enjoying the last 2 days of the show. Just watching as a fan. So yeah, it's been a busy start to the week over here.
Very busy. A lot of big news dropped yesterday, which we will probably touch on with Smilla because they are teammates. Stamp Fairtex injured out of 167 and likely 168. Two title fights scratched. Meniscus injury. What's your reaction to the big news, Kyle?
Obviously gutted. Both for Stamp and for One Championship. The double booking did worry me, but I'm not gonna be the person to say I told you so, because I think that it made sense to have Stamp on both of those events, and of course there was always going to be concerns of injuries and stuff like that. But for it to happen, and you don't potentially, I know that maybe there's a way she can make it, but probably unlikely. So yeah, it's pretty gutting.
We're gonna try Smiller again, but we still can't hear you, Smiller. That's because you're muted. You just have to press unmute on your. There should be a microphone icon. Oh dear. We'll continue without Smiller again. But yes, it's a shame to not have Stamp on these cards. 6 months seems to be the prognosis. I've had the injury, Carl, the meniscus, had it twice, and the reason I had it the second time was I didn't rehab it properly the first time. So I think they're doing the smart thing, not rushing her back for that Denver show, because my knee is now completely screwed. Not completely screwed, but it's to the point it hurts if I do too much running or walking now. So I think Stamp is best off just letting that knee heal 100% before she tries to come back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's such a bad thing timing wise, because it feels like, obviously we haven't seen Stamp for, you're already looking at half the year by the time the Impact Arena show was coming along. So she hasn't had anything to do for the first half of the year. And now you're thinking there's a decent chance she's going to be out for the whole second half of the year as well, and miss potentially both US shows. Like it really couldn't be any worse timing wise for Stamp or for One Championship. So yeah, gutted. Interested to see what they do with Denver, and whether this changes any potential plans for Atlanta. But I guess we'll find out over the next few weeks or so.
Some of the usual heads in the chat. What's up, everyone? Vegan Crane, Ego Kind, Keith, my buddy Keith. Story of the fight. Good day to all of you. Thanks for joining again. Ego Kind, yes, had something similar with their elbow. Didn't let it heal properly. Now my last Muay Thai session is 8 years ago. Exactly. Let your injuries heal, guys. It's much better idea to do that than just rushing back in, because you may curtail your career at a much younger age. Anyway, Smilla just texted me. She's still struggling. I think we'll see. Hopefully, we can get this sorted out. But in the meantime, guys, what's up? How's everyone doing? Nicola, hello to you too. The third show of the week, action packed for you guys. There's another bit of news I didn't mention in the intro or the headlines and the descriptions, but a fight announcement for One Friday Fights 68, the quarterly tempo show. That card is getting more and more stacked. Or maybe Smiller. This is third time's a charm. Is this one going to work?
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
We got some Smiller with audio. Perfect. We'll
Yeah.
get back to that. How are you doing, Smiller? Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you guys?
We're good. This is my colleague Kyle. I don't know if you've met him. He's working at Sportskeeda too.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you too.
I will throw it to Kyle in a bit for some questions, but I'm going to start off with a few. But first of all, It's been an exciting couple of weeks for you, dramatic couple of weeks. Started with a holiday in Samui. How was that, though, first of all?
Yeah, very nice. I haven't been to Samui in like 3 years, and I kind of grew up there. I lived there for 3 years, so it was nice to come back and see how it is at the island. A lot has changed, but also mostly the same.
I remember you and your dad were telling me, yes, during fight week that you grew up there and used to run a laser tag operation, right? Is that it?
Yeah. We used to have it there, but yeah, it's a quiet island, and I like Pattaya now, so I wouldn't want to move back. It's a good holiday destination, though.
Exactly. Well, good that you got some time off, but you were straight back to the gym, and then there was some other dramatic circumstances. I'll talk about Stamp in a minute, but first of all, Ferrari's wedding over the weekend. You were there, right, as
Yeah,
well? How was that?
yeah. No, it was nice. My first Thai wedding I've been to, so nice wedding. Happy for Ferrari. Yeah, the whole gym came.
Yeah, I saw the gym actually closed for the day. It was out,
Yeah,
not running. Must be quite rare occasion, right?
yeah. We never closed the gym, so not even for Christmas or New Year's we still train. So this was very special.
Well, that's good. But sadly, yes, after that, some sad news breaking yesterday. Stamp Fairtex's injury, and she had to get surgery on her knee. I saw you were at the hospital to support her. How did she seem to you? You know, she must be quite upset, I imagine.
Yeah, she's very upset. I think we all are for her. And she's worked very hard for it. And she works hard every day. Like, so this happening, her not being able to fight now, and then not sure about September yet, but yeah, very sad for her.
Uh, it it must be heartbreaking. You know, have you ever been through something like that, an injury yourself?
I had a broken foot before.
I remember, yeah,
Uh,
you
yeah.
ran the marathon with it, right?
Yeah. I think I had problems before my fight with Jackie, and I didn't check it out because I really wanted to fight. So better to check it after. And then my dad saw that I went home for holiday after that fight, and dad saw it was a marathon going on like 2 weeks after. Uh, no, 2 days when I came here, home, and then he signed me up for the marathon, and then I ran with it, and then we figured out that my foot was broken after that.
That just says how tough you are. And I know that Stamp also wanted to fight with her injury, but
Yes,
I think Prem
she
told her, no,
crazy.
you better not, because the knee
Yeah,
is not something to be messed with, right? You don't want to do further damage.
no, she crazy. I think she would have like fought with the knee, but I think it's better for her not to because it's not worth it in the end. And I think she will come back like faster than other people because she's one of the strongest people I know. So she will come back first, faster, I think.
Yes, definitely. And do you think there may be a chance she makes Denver, or would you expect her not to be on the America card? It's touch and go, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we really have to see if these 2 months that the doctors say that she cannot really put any pressure on her leg. Maybe she can put pressure on it like after a month, but we don't know. But I know Stamp is strong and she will come back even stronger.
Well, we were talking about it yesterday on the show, and we were trying to come up with some interesting fights that maybe could replace Stamp on the card in Denver. And one of the fights we were talking about is, yeah, maybe getting you on there in a kind
Yeah.
of mixed rules MMA situation with Zhang Jingnan. Is that something you would ever consider?
Yeah, actually, I would. I would love to do a mixed rule fight. So that would be very cool. Yeah, I'm up for it.
Yeah, because Zhang needs a new opponent, and I know you have ambitions to maybe one day go into MMA, and I think you're already training for that. Or am I wrong? Have you not really started thinking about MMA yet?
No, I have been training MMA like on and off. I did some BJJ before this fight, but then like 5 weeks before my fight, I stopped. So yeah, I just got get back to it, and then yeah, maybe I train in America when I go for seminars and stuff there too. So
All right, so yeah, why don't let's pitch that idea? You against Zhang Jingnan, why not? You'd have nothing to lose, right?
no, I don't think she have anything to lose either. Like she's not training Muay Thai at the moment, so it will be fair but not fair because I'm going into like a whole new sport. But she's also, but she knows the stand-up game because her boxing is very good. I think that's like her like strong point, and yeah, I don't know how it is on the ground.
Well, I'm going to throw it to Kyle in just a minute, but yes, some of our fans seem to like that idea story of the fights. There's a mixed rules fight. Seems like a good opportunity to have a temperature check on MMA for you. Do you think that's right? It would be a good way to introduce yourself to that without fully fighting MMA first.
Yeah, I think I would prefer that actually, because I know I can do Muay Thai. So having the second round as MMA would be great for me. And then if I pass that round, we go back to Muay Thai, and then I can feel safe again.
We got to get some revenge, and for Muay Thai after Demetrius Johnson submitted Rodtang, right?
Right. Yeah, you're right.
All right, Kyle, what have you got for Samila?
I suppose outside of MMA, like we're getting really excited about this idea, but it definitely seemed after the last fight that you won another shot at getting your belt back. Obviously, after losing it on the scales, do you expect that to still be next for you?
Yeah, I think that's actually next, but it all depends on if I fight Jung Jin Nan, like, but I'm not sure about that yet. But yes, I would like to get my belt back. Um, I think I will do one more fight in this weight division and like leave the belt on my, like, leave it on my own, not onto the scale. I don't like it. Yeah.
I hope that Condition Nutrition isn't listening in because he might get annoyed at me for suggesting another strawweight fight. But there's a vacant kickboxing title coming up. Is that something you'd be interested in as well? Obviously, it means staying at strawweight a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, I think that would also be very fun. I'm excited for Jackie and Anissa, um, and maybe I can fight the winner, but that means I think I need more notice for a fight. That's my problem. This fight camp was very short, so I think that's why I didn't make weight this time.
yeah, how do you see that one going? Obviously, you fought Jackie before. You were scheduled to fight her again. Obviously, I'm excited to see her return and interested to see how this one will play out with Anissa. But how do you see it?
Oh, it's hard because I know Jackie is very strong in her hands, and Anissa got the kickboxing background, so it's very hard for me to pick a winner.
There you go.
Very diplomatic answer.
Yeah, I'm social media trained now.
Well, just back on Denver. If you don't get that Zhang Jingnan fight, is there someone else you may be thinking of? Would you like to have that shot at that Muay Thai belt again, something like that, or have you not thought that far ahead?
Um, I think Ekaterina won her last fight, and I haven't fought her yet, so maybe that can be something.
I like the sound of that. Yes, why don't we do that? I did speak to Chatri a couple of weeks ago, and he does seem willing, to give you that opportunity to try and win the belt again. Was that nice to hear from the boss?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. yeah, I messed up this weight cut, but I was very hydrated. uh, but yeah, I think just more notice for next one, and I think I can come back.
Yeah, I think a lot of people didn't realize you only had, I think it was 4 or 5 weeks notice, and
Yeah.
obviously there were critics saying you're this and that, you're a weight bully, blah blah blah. Blah. But then when I think they found out it was 4 or 5 weeks, there was a lot more sympathy. Did you feel that?
Yeah, no, I read most comments. Yeah, they say I'm a weight bully. Yeah, I'm taller than everyone in this weight division, and I missed weight by a quarter of a pound, like 600 grams or something. Um, okay, like some people say you could just have like go to the toilet and take a shit, but do you think I'm going up on the scale without like going to the toilet before or what? Uh, no, but I hope. Um, no, I read the comments saying like 5 weeks is not enough time. But if there's no one who wants to fight with me, like I gotta take the chance when I get it.
100%. I'm fully with you, and I'd like to see you, yeah, try and get that belt back, and then I do think it would be cool to see you go up then to flyweight, and Chatri has said that could happen within a few months. Was that also good to hear from him?
Yeah, that would be very good. I think I would be stronger. I can put on muscles, and yeah, that would be great. And I know there's people out there for me.
Yeah, I heard you can't even really do strength work in the gym. You can't lift weights because you're afraid
No.
of putting on muscle, right?
No, like what the strength training I'm doing is basically body workouts. Because yeah, cannot put on too much weight.
Yes. So I think it's best all round. If they have this flyweight division, we can see the best version of yourself, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
We did have Matt Lucas on the show as well a couple of weeks ago, and he said he'd like to see you at flyweight because he thinks that it's going to help you with your defensive game as well, because you're going to have to learn to check those powerful shots like the ones Natalia was catching with you. Do you think
Yeah.
that's a fair assessment?
Yeah, I really need to work on my defense. Yeah, I took a lot of punishment, but I always do in the first round. Like Alicia got me with her like body shots, and now Natalia with the face like here, and yeah, it was like the first round. Everything was spinning. And it was like going in a roller coaster, and I hate roller coasters. So I'm like, whoa, whoa.
Oh,
Yeah, but first round is not for me really.
well, maybe yes, maybe in flyweight it'll be better off. Some questions in the chat here. Superlek versus Haggerty. Who do you think will win?
Oh, that's also so hard. I know Super League won last time because of Doctor Stoppage, but now they both in like their prime. Like I don't know. I think Haggerty's got like the weight advantage because Super League is going up. Ah, I don't know.
It's a tough one. I'm with you, Kyle. What do you
Yeah,
think?
yeah. What do you guys think?
I feel like I've gone back and forth on this the whole time.
Yeah.
I keep trying to make the
Right?
argument for Haggerty because of the size, but then I'm like, but Superlek's big for flyweight anyway, so will it be
Yeah,
a big jump? I don't know. It's tough.
yeah, yeah,
I'm on the fence as well. Officially, I
yeah. I
can't give a
know.
prediction. Right. What
No.
about this? Anonymous is asking if one was to start a flyweight division. Is there anyone at 135 pounds you would like to fight? Is there a name already you're thinking of?
No, but I know some American fighters. I'm not very sure. Like, I know they fight at 60, but I think they fight at 61 if they could. Uh, but Americans and Australians, yeah, maybe some Europeans, but I'm not sure. I'm not too sure about who's in Europe.
John Flowers says you're already about 6 foot, so maybe 125 is going to be too hard. When did you reach? I think you're 5'11" now, right? You started in one about
Yeah,
5'8", so you grew 3 inches in the last couple years. Is that it?
yeah. I'm not sure how much I grown, but yeah, I've grown. Yeah, now I'm 5'11", like you said. I don't know foot. I know centimeters.
Do you think you
Yeah.
may go above 6 foot, or are you going to reach 6 foot? Is there going to be more growing?
No, 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 no. I stopped growing now. I told myself I'm done.
That's good. Yeah, we don't want any more. It's perfect now.
No.
Um, but I'm gonna go back to Kyle for another one if he's got anything for you. But when are you? How is training going now? I know you're back in the gym after everything that's happened. Are you feeling good?
Yeah, I feel good. A very slow start, you know. I'm going home this Sunday to see family, so I haven't really started training like normal.
Properly?
I'm
Okay.
still
Yeah.
like yeah. And then I think I have some problem with my eye. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah. So the front cover of this stream, the thumbnail, it's the picture of you pointing at your eye. Yeah. So
Yeah,
talk us through. Like, what was the doctor's? Did you go to the doctor? What did they say about it?
I did go to the doctor after the fight. I got a small fracture there. I thought when I did this pose, you know, I thought the eye was shut, so that's why I kept on pointing at it. No, because I couldn't see anything from it, so I thought it was worse than it looked. But apparently, I could. It looked normal to me, like it just looked like a normal black eye. It was not even really swollen, so it looked stupid, but.
I thought it was pretty badass. So what you're going back to Sweden? Is that right?
Yeah,
Um,
I
and
go
when you going? Yeah, Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah.
And commiserations on not being on Euro 2024, guys. Sorry about that. Sweden's not qualified, right, for the football.
Don't think so. I'm not sure.
You're not a football fan.
No, I like basketball more.
I feel like your some of your family who I met are big football fans, so I'm
Oh,
sure
they
they're going to be.
are.
Yeah,
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
they told me actually. Yeah, you liked to play basketball when you were younger, and then, but yeah, do you still play at all?
No, I don't play anymore. Actually, I didn't want to do Muay Thai,
Yeah.
but we moved to the small island, so there was no basketball for me to like continue in that. So I had to do Muay Thai instead. Yeah.
Well, basketball's loss was one championship's gain, definitely, and Muay Thai. So.
Yeah.
Right, Kyle, you got anything else for Smilla?
Yeah, I wanted to make a point to talk about. You said about the first round against Natalia not going too well, but the second round, obviously, you turned the momentum around, and then that body shot that closed it was incredible. But I remember you saying straight afterwards that you didn't even know what you'd hit her with. It was just an instinct shot that you landed.
Yeah.
Like, was it when you went back and watched it? Were you did you realize how you would set it up and stuff like that, or was it purely just instinct to throw that shot at that time?
I think just instinct. Actually, I train. I love my body hook. That's like one of my favorites. So that came normal to me. I had big trouble in first round. So that like kind of continued into the second half of the round. But I saw she was like gassing out, so I was like, oh, and then she tipped me to the ground. Oh no, first she tipped me, and then she did the back kick. I thought she tipped me because I still like kind of don't know what's going on here. And then I got mad and upset, like I got angry there, and I was like, oh, you can't like. I felt embarrassed for going to the ground, so I was like, I gotta get this done now.
I mean, I'm sure you expected a tough first round. Her style's pretty aggressive, straight from the off. Like, did anything surprise you about what she did? Because I think people that know your game and know her game, maybe not to that extent, but probably expected her to start pretty strong and then you to take over a little bit later on. I mean, maybe not in the second round like you did, but certainly, a momentum shift at some point in the fight.
Yeah, so I've seen all her fights on Friday fights, and she comes in very strong all the time. So I was expecting that, but I wasn't expecting like actually how hard she hit. Like that shocked me.
I remember, like, I'm pretty sure immediately after there was people saying about whether you guys should fight again for the vacant belt, which I imagine to you doesn't make a whole lot of sense considering that you beat her. I know that obviously it wasn't you couldn't win back the belt in that fight. She was the only one eligible to win the belt, but is facing her again so soon something that interests you at all?
Not very sure. I would like to fight someone new. I think that would be more interesting. I do think Natalia is on the top. We could have gone another round if she went to the ground, but she didn't. She went into the rope, so I was lucky there. But I think she's like top ranked there in that division. But I would like to face someone else like Ekaterina.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that, and that one makes a ton of sense, I think. So I hope that one is next.
Yeah.
All right.
What?
Some fan questions quickly if you've got time, Smilla. But if you need to leave,
Yeah.
let us know.
No, I'm all good. I'm all good.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I like it when the fans get involved. Anonymous asking you, which parent did you get your height from? I've seen your mom. She's pretty tall.
Yeah. I'm taller than both of my parents. But my cousin is like over 2 meters, so maybe it's on my mom's side. I'm not sure.
All right. One from John. Do you like? Yeah, I'm presuming this is a Swedish thing. Turkisk peba licorice.
Oh no, I hate Turkish pepper. Ugh, I don't like licorice. Ugh. Have you tried licorice?
I haven't had it. I haven't had any of it. I've had licorice.
At all?
I've had licorice, but not the Turkish pepper. No.
Oh, I don't recommend.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. Another one, anonymous asking, what do you think about Pet Gija?
Oh yeah, she's very good. Like she's very, very good. No, I think a fight with her and Alicia would be very cool and a good fight for everyone to watch.
Yeah, that was another question here. Someone asking, how do you think that fight would end?
Like the too many great matchup you guys give me. Like I don't know. Alicia is for sure very strong, and she's got the clinch. And then Petija has like so much experience. Who do you guys think?
Yeah, I think Pet Gija wins that. As much as I love Alicia, and she's such a warrior. You know, she fought with broken hand in the last fight and
Exactly.
everything. But Pet Gija is just special, and yeah, I'm wondering, do you expect to meet her one day? Do you think that's a fight that's going to happen with you and her?
I don't know if she would go up weight, and also maybe I'm going up weight.
You're going up, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know how that's gonna work.
Maybe we got to get that one in quickly, but it could be one of those dream fights we never see. Yeah, because of certain things. All right, this one is random. Do you play the drums? Do you have a vegan crane is asking if you have a drum set? I don't know why.
No, I do not play drums. I have no rhythm at all.
Any music? If you do you play any instrument?
No, I'm more like a sport person. I prefer PE in school more than music.
Too busy beating people up. All right. Favorite post-fight meal? Story of the fight asks.
I always eat McDonald's chicken nuggets.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, my favorite.
Did Tawan Chai teach you anything in his seminar that you can reuse in your own style. That's from Ego Kind.
Um, he did teach me about his tips and stuff. Yeah, I didn't do anything in that like that in the fight. I think I was yeah too much going on in that fight, so I forgot everything.
Tawan Chai or Joe? Who you got?
I think that fight was very close, the last one, but Tawan Shai maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure. But Joel almost, I don't know, did Joel get, I don't remember how the last fight went out. Like everyone say, some people say Joel like won, right?
Yeah, it was close. It was. I think it was still a unanimous decision, but it was
Okay,
29-28 for on
okay.
all three cards. But I think a lot of people thought Joe maybe should have got 2 rounds instead of one. So
Mm-hmm.
should be interesting, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Were you still going to go to the show? I imagine you may have gone to support Stamp, but were you still? The Rotang's on the card, right?
Yeah, that would be cool. But I'm actually in Sweden.
Oh,
I come
Sweden.
back
Yes, you
like
told me
two.
already. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I come back on 2 days after the fight, so I just
Oh,
miss
damn.
it. Yeah.
It's a shame. All right. Anonymous, quickly asking, have you ever thought about boxing? You have insane reach and power.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, maybe that would be fun. I just gotta work on my defense though.
Yes, it's difficult with those gloves as well, right?
Yeah, yeah, very difficult. Have you
Maybe
have you trained in them? Have you like tried like punching with them?
I've got one here on the wall. I've
Where's the
never
other
worn it.
one then?
Oh, I think I left it somewhere. I don't know where it is actually. Um,
No.
I've got one of the kickboxing gloves as well. These look
Uh,
way more safe for. Yeah, I would prefer to fight in those. Maybe kickboxing.
yeah,
Would you try that?
yeah. Kickboxing sounds fun. I did
You've
one
already had a
kickboxing fight.
you did a fight, didn't you, on Friday fights, the kickboxing one?
Yeah, I did. I
Yeah,
won that one as well. She was very strong opponent. Milana,
right.
she was very good.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Funniest person at Fairtex? Another question.
I think Ferrari is very funny.
I can't
And
imagine anyone being funnier than Stamp. She seems like a laugh, a good laugh.
no, but there's some funny people at the gym. Like Y2K is also very funny.
Oh
Stamp,
yeah,
of course. Yeah, but many people are funny.
that's good. That's good. It's what we need when you're all working out every day, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Smilla, thanks for joining us. Don't want to keep you much longer.
Okay.
Just final question, I guess. Yeah, in your dream world, when are you back? When is it Denver? Is that the one you're really looking for?
Um, Maybe Atlanta actually. I just want to fight in the US. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
fingers crossed that comes true for you. Smilla Sundell,
Yes.
former strawweight Muay Thai champion in one. I'm sure
Yes.
soon to be two-time champion if she gets her way.
Yeah.
She's a force of nature. Pleasure to catch up with you. I always enjoy talking to you, and thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah. Enjoy talking to you guys too. Okay. Bye
We'll see you
bye.
next time. Enjoy
Yes.
Sweden. Say hello to the family.
Yes, I will. Bye bye. Have fun talking more.
Yes, get a beer for Chris from me.
Okay, I will. Bye bye.
Bye. All right. That's Smilla Sandell. Lovely, isn't she? Very fun.
Yeah, especially when you get, I feel like maybe you're better to talk about this as someone that's spoken to her a lot, over the years. But I feel like specifically interviews as of late, I feel like I get a lot more of Smilla's personality, and it's so much fun. Like she's such a, like, her sense of humor is incredible.
Yeah, I think she's quite shy, and obviously when she first started, she's 17 in one, so maybe 16. Can't remember. So very difficult to shove someone that young in front of cameras and everything. So I think you're starting to see more of her personality now, which is good. And I think in a few more years, you're going to see even more from her. It's crazy to think how young she is, just and how good. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're gonna hang around for like another 20 minutes or so, talk about some news. If you have any other questions, get them in. But yes, just before Smilla jumped back in, we were talking about this shake-up. So this weekend's Friday fights card, let me bring it on screen. There's been a bit of a shake-up to one Lumpini this weekend. It was meant to be Kulabdam against Cameron Nabati. I think I have it on screen here. But Kulabdam has suffered a finger injury. Is now out of that fight. So that fight is off. But it has been moved, Kyle, to one Friday Fight 68, the big pay-per-view on June 28th, 4 weeks later. You happy with that one? It's not been moved, actually. Kulabdam's off. Sorry, Sewer Black is now stepping in. That's what I meant to say. So, reshuffle. Sewer Black in, Kulabdam out against Cameron Nabati. This card is looking pretty tasty now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, disappointing to lose the fight this week, but in terms of an addition to that big Friday fights card, that's a pretty good one. So, it's kind of the best outcome, I guess. Obviously, unfortunate for Kulabdam to not get the fight rebooked, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that one, and yeah, it's a strong addition to that big Friday fights card. It makes a lot of sense for that one. So, yeah, I think they've done a good job of changing that fight up a little bit and giving it a bigger spot, really.
Yes, feel bad for Kulabdam because it seems to have no luck. He beats everyone. He's been put on Lumpini, even though he used to fight on the main roster. He's had to go down to Friday fights and earn his way back up. He's knocked out a bunch of people, got some great wins, and then has a very good technical fight with Nongo. But it's Nongo, and there's no shame losing to Nongo. Still can't get on the main roster, and he's got to go through Friday fights against Still, and then they put him against this guy who's a monster. Do you feel for old Kulabdam? I feel you could probably just get him straight onto that main roster, whatever you want to call it. It's overdue. We need fighters to flesh out some of these fight night cards. Kulabdam would be a great addition in my mind,
Yeah, definitely. I think that at the very least he should be, on the big pay-per-view Friday fights cards, because that's kind of the next best thing if you're not going to be on the main roster, I suppose. At least to get those kind of spots on those really prominent cards with all the big names at the top and stuff. So you would have hoped to have seen him on that one, but I guess that isn't a possibility now with the injury. So yeah, it is a little bit strange to see him kind of move backwards, even though, like you said, a tactical fight with Nongo, which when Nongo's fighting like that, especially, there's no, you shouldn't take a backward step from losing to that guy when he's fighting like that. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, and obviously the injury isn't gonna help that either.
Right. Any word or hint? Anonymous is asking on who Denise Zamboanga is fighting. Well, yes, Denise has stayed on this card, so they've actually found someone for her to fight. She was going to fight Stamp Fairtex, obviously, for the belt. That is not happening, but Denise will still be on June 7th. I did see an Instagram post from her. See if I can share that. It's not giving away who she's fighting, but it will maybe shed some light. Yeah, here you go. It says, let's pray for a fast recovery for our champ. We didn't expect this to happen. Thank you for your messages. I'm doing okay. I'm thankful one championship and Chatri gave me a chance to fight on June 7th. We will not give up on this dream. We will still continue working hard to get the chance to fight for the championship again. Yes, I feel for Denise. It's the second time she's had a title shot, and then it's slipped through her fingers because of her opponent. Angela Lee, the first time, got pregnant, and now Stamp got injured. You feel for Denise, Kyle? It's a tough one for her again.
Yeah, big time. The other thing that worries me is that there's a chance that by the time that Stamp comes back, maybe she goes straight for the Zhong fight instead up at strawweight, and then it's like that. I think that there's not only obviously with the Angela Lee thing, she missed out on that fight entirely because of the Grand Prix, and that's what worries me. Is are there circumstances where she could miss out on this one as well entirely instead of it just being delayed? I obviously hope that it is just delayed and we do get this one first when Stamp comes back. But I think potentially if Stamp say is going to be back in time for Atlanta, they might want to do the Zhong fight instead. I don't know, but yeah, it obviously sucks for Denise. I'm interested to see what this fight is that she's got because it's obviously an incredibly difficult position for her to be in if she is going to fight and it's not for like an interim belt or anything because she could lose her title shot after being so close to finally getting it. So yeah, interested to see how this one plays out because it could get worse or it could get better. We still got to find out.
Yes, I'm wondering who it might be. It's probably someone based locally or in Asia at least. I'm wondering whether it's Denise Zamboanga, not Denise, sorry, Jihin Radzuan, perhaps. I know Jihin was gonna fight Ayaka Miura at I think it was the last show, or maybe the one before it in April. And then she got an injury, so maybe Jihin's going to step in. She obviously trains with Stamp, and perhaps I don't know if if Jihin was the one who injured Stamp, so that would be funny. But she was the one who caused the injury, and now steps in to fight Denise. I don't know, but let's see, guys. Yeah, I'm sure they will have to drop that. Well, they will have to drop that information soon. Right. Story of the fight. Love Sewer Black. Anytime he fights is good. Says story of the fight. Kulab Dam is ducking. There's a anonymous. Sewer Black is so cool. Says Fizz. I agree. Incredible legs, obviously. Simmer Pet versus Nico. Who will win? Kyle, what do you reckon?
I think it was Liam that said this when we interviewed him, or maybe it was in a different interview about the thing that worries me the most is whether Nico is so powerful for so many of the guys in this division, and we've kind of seen Simon Pett obviously is incredible, but if there's one area where maybe you can get at him, it's if you're able to kind of put him on the back foot and put him under pressure and land some big shots. And I can see this one maybe being a little bit similar to Nico's fight with Nongo, where it's competitive until he lands that one shot, and then suddenly it changes everything. I feel like it's going to be a struggle for Simon Pett to get through 3 rounds without eating anything too big. That will probably be the end of the fight.
Right, agree with you. So yes, this is a rematch. Apparently, anonymous. I didn't notice. I'm sure many of you did. Sewer Black and Nabati fought last year before they both joined one, and Sewer Black got knocked out in 10 seconds. So, be a nice rematch. Suppose he feels he's got a lot to prove, right? I mean, whenever you lose something like that, you must be thinking, "Oh, I could do a lot better than that." Surely.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it an even better replacement fight. I didn't know that either. So, you get that little extra narrative as well between them. So, yeah, good replacement.
Right, Chester wants to know, Kyle, who you want to add to Denver to beef it up with Stamp out?
Ooh, I don't think there's an option as I believe it was yesterday's show that you spoke about it on. I don't think there's an option to kind of replace a fight like that. Like there isn't anything I don't think that one could do that would be as big as having a Stamp on the card in that fight. So I think you're probably looking at just beefing up the rest of the card. Instead of having that one kind of name at the top that people are gonna, that the US fans at least are gonna gravitate towards, put a few on there that maybe might do some stuff like that, like pick up some extra traction along the way. So I think if they put together a stacked event, that's the best thing they can do. If you lose a main event of that kind of stature, you can't really replace that. Best thing to do is go for just quality across the board rather than those couple of like super high profile names, unless they're able to to move Rodtang around, but I feel like maybe it would be bigger for the US fans, but I feel like one fans would much rather just not see him on there and wait for the Takeru fight instead. So names, I think Smilla would be a really good one to put on there. Obviously, if they're able to do the Zhong fight, I think that makes a lot of sense. But I feel like US fans would be, even if they don't know about Smilla right now, I feel like she's unique enough. Being as young as she is, being as tall as she is, but also her fighting style is so exciting that I think she would turn quite a lot of heads. And she has the personality as well. Like I think that people would end up gravitating towards her. So I think Smilla would be a really good addition if she does end up getting the call to fight in the US. And then there's so many names that pretty much everyone in one championship, if you ask them what date they want to be back on for the second half of the year, they're going to name the US shows. So I don't think it'll be hard finding spots. I believe you said as well on one of the previous ones this week about Christian Lee maybe being back in Atlanta, whether they could see if he can make Denver instead. It might be a little bit. They've got time. So I think Christian Lee will be a really good get, but if he's already been told to prepare for Atlanta, then that might be difficult. But
Yeah, I agree with you on all that. Yeah, I think maybe DJ is the big name if you're talking about a headliner and quality across the board. Yeah, so maybe Miller versus. I like this idea, Smilly Panda Zhongjingnan in mixed rules. You know, I don't often like the mixed rules, but I think that one is intriguing enough, and it keeps Zhong on the card in an interesting way because I'm not really interested in her against anyone else in her division, MMA strawweight. So, yeah, why not? And all that other stuff you mentioned. Yeah, Christian Lee, maybe you bump him up. I think they can do it. Yeah, if they spread it out over a few fights, can fill in for Stamp.
I think you could
yeah.
maybe get DJ. Like we've spoken about this before. I think maybe the only chance of getting DJ back is in a grappling match. Of course, like he literally said that the other day on one of his podcasts about how he isn't, potentially done with one championship. They do grappling, and that's what he's focused on at the moment. So maybe there's an opportunity there. And the only problem is, I think if he was going to face somebody, it would be Musumeci, and he's obviously booked for Denver already against Cade. So, and he's going up, 2 weight classes. Obviously, he's going up to bantamweight for the next one, then up again. So that isn't going to work for Denver because you're not going to scrap Mikey and Cade for DJ. I mean, maybe they would, but also that isn't a main event. As much as I love DJ and as much as I'd love to watch him grapple Mikey Musumeci, that is not a main event. That is a co-main event and probably one that will generate some interest for sure, just because it's DJ. But it's definitely not a main event. Can you imagine how annoyed people would be if that went on after Superlek and Haggerty?
Well, I think that feeds into this question from John Flower here. Can we all agree the effort and money promoting submission grappling has proven to be a waste? I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of it, and I've yet to meet anyone who really raves about it to the point that they tune in to a one championship show for grappling. But I think there's been some fun matches and some good finishes. There's a few stars I like to watch, and I don't mind it being on the card at all. I think it can help flesh out cards sometimes, and it can be fun. I do think, they've put a lot of money into it. They tend to get the bonuses more easily than some more, arguably more deserving Muay Thai or MMA fighters. What do you think, Carl? I'm trying not to be super negative about it. I'm not the hugest fan of it. I do see some positives in it.
Yeah, I think that I get it in terms of one being, the home of martial arts, right? That whole image of it makes sense to incorporate grappling. That's a big part of martial arts that you haven't got in the mix otherwise. But it's something that I would do if I was making a promotion and I had an infinite amount of money to spend. Sure, I like a lot of the athletes, and it's cool for them to have this platform that they never had before and all this stuff. However, if I was thinking of it as a businessman, I don't really know where I'm going to get the value out of it compared to if I was to just book more striking or MMA in its place. I in terms of whether they've got the effort, with all the effort and the money they've put in, whether they've got the value out of that, I kind of struggle to see where they've got the value out of it. But I mean, I don't particularly dislike it either, so I'm happy to keep seeing it. Whether I would do it if I was in one's position, I don't think I would.
All right, we got about 5, maybe 10 minutes, guys. Yeah, 10. Just if you have any more questions, get them in. I'll just read some comments. Naim Same. I heard Sewer Black said he was sick before the fight with Cameron, and they don't let his brother replace him. That's why he wants this revenge so bad. Yeah, it sounds like Sewer Black's asked for this fight. He's stepping in on 4 weeks' notice. Yeah, I like the sound of that. Ego Kind wants Ongla on Denver. Yeah, I'm with you. I think Ongla should be on this June 167 card, I think. Don't know why it's not. He thought he was going to be on the card, so he's I believe he booked some flights and stuff. So I think he's going to be there, I've heard. I'm going to catch up with him. He's coming anyway because he booked a trip with his family. He thought he'd be on the card, but it fell through. So he's gonna visit anyway. But yeah, Ongla has always got fans wherever he goes. Anonymous agrees. Definitely get Ongla, Jackie Buntan, and Denise in there. The Burmese and Filipino community is heavy in America. Yes, for real. They will be going nuts, especially I think for Ongla. He just wherever he goes in the world, there's some Burmese people turn up to cheer for him. Story of the fight says Smilla needs to fight in the US. People will definitely take notice. Yes, agree. Smilla versus Zhong in MMA should be fine. Anonymous thinks Zhong isn't much of a grappler. She prefers to keep it standing. They just need to do better at having BJJ mismatches. About not having mismatches. Story of the fight says. Now they've built the names up. Yeah, I agree. John points out submission grappling has been the co-main of every regular card, but can't be a headline anywhere. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it could ever be a main event unless it's something freakish. Yeah, like Gordon Ryan. Gordon Ryan would be worth a main event if they could get him to grapple Thai Rutolo. You could main event a card there, I think, but probably no one else. One should have done grappling tournament shows or something, says Anonymous, to flesh out the division, engage interest. Yeah, I've been a preacher of that one. If Cade's successful in MMA, it will have been worth it, says Keith Larimore. What's up, Keith? Yeah, I think if some of these BJJ guys can cross over, Kyle, into MMA or Muay Thai, kickboxing, that's kind of cool, isn't it? I think the Rutolos may be good at anything they try their hand at. There just seems like those kind of genetic freaks. I'm excited for Cade's debut, in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it definitely feels like as well, if he, starts his MMA career well and gets a few wins, then he could be one of those people that when they're looking at US cards next year and stuff, will definitely feature. And I we'll get some decent crossover, I think, in terms of attracting US fans because of the fact that he'll be a really exciting prospect in MMA all of a sudden. He only needs a couple of wins before he's going to be considered that. I think those US cards are a really good way to kind of show you want to have obviously the big names, but I think also, some of these big potential prospects. Like I wrote a story earlier today about Ghazali wanting to be fighting in the US and stuff like that. Like some of these guys are going to attract interest just because US fans will suddenly be like, who's this 17-year-old who's undefeated in one championship and, knocks people out and is a potential future star. So I think narratives like that will win people over, especially if they can connect with them in some way. And Cade and Ty are both very likable people. So, and they of course have the jiu-jitsu kind of background that you can teach people about and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm really excited for Cade's MMA debut. So I think that could end up being, like you said, the best kind of outcome if Cade ends up doing well, potentially tie. Mikey's spoken about it quite a lot. I don't know how close he actually is to ever doing it, but
Yeah. Well, yeah. Mikey is he moved to Bangkok? I see he's training all the time out there at PK Science. I don't know. I'm not sure how good Mikey would be in stand up. I think Mikey should stick to.
I think he used to do Muay Thai when he was a kid.
Really? Okay.
But I mean, so did Cade and Ty, but obviously, like he stopped doing it pretty young age to focus more on jujitsu and stuff. So I don't know. We'll see if we ever do see, I guess.
Well, if Mikey's not too busy hanging out with Zuck at Zuck's 40th birthday party, was it? I saw he went over to Palo Alto for that big celebration. Yeah, maybe Mikey can hit the pads. Right. Any thoughts on Peng Nuang 6-0 in Friday fights? Yeah, very impressive. I think was it 4 knockouts straight, in a row. I think the last 2 were decisions. And Ego Kind points out, yeah, Zhao Xuyai next, going to be good. Excited to see that fight. I don't know how much you know, Kyle. Are you sort of eagerly keeping your eye on Friday fights?
Yeah, I try to. Obviously, it's difficult because the time zone here is when I'm at work, so it's sometimes difficult. But I try my best, and then keep an eye on it through social medias and stuff like that. Things that I need to go back for, people that are kind of making a name for themselves on there that I need to keep an eye out for. So yeah, I try my best, but it is difficult with the time difference. I shouldn't complain about getting to watch Muay Thai at lunchtime. It's a good problem to have, but it's hard to keep up with when you're also trying to work and you end up just sitting watching Muay Thai instead of doing work.
Yes, it's the only fighter Ego Kind tunes into 4-on-1, but Chatri hates him apparently. 20 fight win streak, John points out, and he's also a great guy. Yes, so tune in for that fight with Yasuya. Definitely. Chester says submission grappling does attract some fans. There are a few people that are big grappling fans. I think having no more than one per card is how to do it going forward. Yeah, the grappling is, I think, still an experiment, and we'll see if it's ever going to blow up or not. I think there are positives and negatives both times. I'm going to wrap it up in a few minutes, guys. I'll just get through these comments. Story of the fight. Just hope Cade is training wrestling and not just stand-up. Lots of BJJ players get Bangkok ready, but never develop good takedowns in MMA. Yeah, let's see. Jojo could be much bigger than Raul Rosas Jr. Just let him fight in the US, Tetsuya says. Zuck should fight on the Denver card. Anonymous. Yes. Is this what happened to this Zuck MMA debut with the fight with Elon? Did that ever go anywhere? I forgot.
No, it just kind of collapsed over time. I think it was like everyone was talking about it for a couple of weeks, and both of them were talking about it a lot, which is why I thought maybe this is actually going to happen. And then it just kind of went quiet. I think just completely just died off.
Right. Who do you plan to interview next? I'm trying to get John DeBella on next week, but I know he's sort of ramping up finishing up his preparations for the fight with Prajanchai. Oh, no, he's still got a few weeks. So we'll see. I'll message him again, but yeah, we'll try and get JDB back. I don't know. Who do you want to see us chat to? Let us know. Maybe your boy Joshua Pascio fears you can hook us up with the king, the passion. Right. Okay, we're gonna get out of here, I think. Kyle, what do you got coming up? Anything fun?
That's just the regular stuff. I think I'm currently doing a thing for fighters only on MMA movies and documentaries. So I have watched a lot of not very good MMA movies as of late. So that has been taking up my week, and yeah, that's about it.
All right. Well, I think we'll be back on Monday, I believe. I'll try and line up some fun guests. Tristan will be away. He's in Australia. So we'll see. We'll see what we can do. But yes, 3 shows this week. I'm thinking of doing, Mondays. I'd ideally want to do Mondays through Thursdays, guys. I don't know if you'd all be up for it, but thinking an hour each night, get some guests on, a couple of those shows, a couple of new shows each week. Let us know if you think that's overkill or what, or if you're happy to tune in for an hour each night or each morning, wherever you are in the world. Helps you get through the week, I'm sure. I would have loved to have something like that as well. I always love listening to like pro wrestling podcasts or Manchester United, just my football team. I'll listen to a show every day for sure. So if you'd like that in the One Championship version, leave a comment, let us know. But anyway, interview Akbar Abdullayev. Yeah, well, I did after the show, and he's not very good. We need a translator, so. But he has a lot of fans. I was surprised. He's had some good reactions since. Anyway, getting out of here. Kyle, final word from you.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens next week and when we're back, because this week has been pretty crazy. So
yeah, it has been. Never back down slander. Yeah, get to watching your films.
I'm not watching that trilogy. I don't need to. I've watched the first one many times, and the other two are not worth it.
What was that one Kurt Angle was in?
Is that Warrior? Because that one is like the good one
with Tom Hardy, I think.
Yeah. That's on the list, but I've seen that before because it's actually a good movie. So, whereas a lot of them are not good.
All right.
I mean, the MMA in it is not great, but the movie itself is a very good movie that just happens to be about MMA.
All right, I'm gonna check it out. Well, Fizz, if you're hanging out with the Lions Nation boys, you hook us up with Joshua Pasho, please, for next week. I'll try and message Kuya Edward, maybe set it up. Right. So kind. Chester loves this duo. Yeah, maybe if you're not too busy, Carl, you want to jump on Monday too. Who knows? It can go crazy. But I don't want to take up too much of your time. He's a busy guy. He's got to watch a bunch of MMA films, and he's got Fighters Only as well. But yes, I enjoy the Wednesdays with Kyle. We'll see what we can do. Maybe we can convince him to do more. Right. Let's go. We're out of here. Boys, in the chat, boys and girls, it's been a fun one. I'll see you all probably next week. Enjoy Friday fights if you're watching. Who knows if I'll pop up. One day I intend to do a live show for Fridays. Maybe it'll be this week, but who knows. All right, guys, we're out of here. See you next time.